LATD Nation, welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Jay, aka the big man with big plans that's so grand it'll make the whole world stand. We got my co-host here, my boy. Introduce yourself.
Rodney, aka RG from the 843, aka Roddy Not So Rich. But we get into this bag slowly but surely, and today we are talking about the new Deadpool and Wolverine trailer that just dropped yesterday, actually.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And just, general impressions. What did you think of it overall?
I thought the trailer was good. It looks great. Yeah. I'm excited for the movie. Hugh Jackman coming back is a big, major thing.
That's a huge thing. I say Hugh Jackman, actually, his Wolverine is my favorite casting of a superhero ever.
Oh yeah, definitely. Would you say it's better than Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark?
I would say that they're equal, but I feel like Robert Downey Jr. kind of gets more credit for that in the long run, just because of how big the MCU was when he was around, especially when he was kind of like the center of it. Mm-hmm. So I would say that they're equal. I feel like they're just as important in terms of the course of superhero casting.
Right, I agree.
Because Hugh Jackman's Wolverine was part of an era of when comic book movies were really starting to find their footing, when they were really kind of starting to be more of that gritty sort of more realistic sort of portrayal of superheroes and things like that. Because this was around the time you had Batman Begins, the original X-Men movies and stuff like that.
Right.
So that was when they were really starting to figure the formula out, and I feel like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine was very integral to all of that.
Right. I agree. I kind of did like Tony Stark just a tad bit more, mainly just because he was more comic accurate.
Yeah, I can see that. Because the thing is that Hugh Jackman is 6 foot.
Yeah, he gotta be 6'2".
And Wolverine is really supposed to be 5'5" or something.
5'3".
Really?
Yeah, 5'3". He hence the name Wolverine because because Wolverines aren't very big in real life. So I kind of liked it though. I kind of like the whole parallel between Hugh Jackman and the comics Wolverine, but like I said, I think I prefer a little Iron Man, just a tad bit more comics,
That's understandable.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be real. Endgame really set the bar high because the last couple of years in the MCU,
it's very up and down.
Exactly. The only bright spots for me from the MCU were, in my opinion,
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Mm-hmm. The What If series.
I would say the first season Loki. I haven't seen season 2. I know I'm tripping. Don't kill me in the comments. Yeah, I know I'm tripping.
It's all
I got around to it.
It's all good. Yeah,
Loki, getting there though.
Loki season 2 was really, really good though.
I heard it was really good.
I did fall asleep through it a couple times, but that's when I was working.
You fall asleep through anything?
Right.
I can't talk because I fell asleep through Flash.
Oh, I fell. Yeah.
But to be fair, you really can't blame me for that one.
Yeah, I can.
That movie was long. That movie was dragged out.
I can still blame you for it.
It just got nonsensical after a while.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Flash at first, it wasn't that bad to me.
Yeah. And matter of fact, speaking on superhero castings though, Ben Affleck as Batman, underrated.
Super underrated.
This day. I've always said this. He never got a true chance to show what he was capable of.
Not at all. Because Zack Snyder kept trying to be like the MCU and rushed out every single film.
Facts.
DC
how do we go? Because you got to understand, Justice League came out in fall of 2017.
Right.
In spring of 2016, we get Batman v Superman. They introduce Wonder Woman. They kill Batman.
Batman v Superman was before Justice League.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Spring of 2016.
Yeah, seasons.
Nah, you good. But yeah, no, it was February, so around springish, around that time of 2016, you get Lex Luthor, Batman, Wonder Woman, Doomsday, all introduced in the exact same
I didn't
movie.
get that.
And Superman dead too.
Yeah, I didn't get that because it's why would you introduce a big character like Doomsday so early? And why would they cast Jesse Eisenberg to be Lex Luthor? Why would they do all of that stuff? Why would you? It didn't make sense.
And then they had the audacity. They had the audacity to introduce Deathstroke at the end of the movie. That's another plot line that never got anywhere in the DCEU.
Yeah, DC Extended Universe.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the DCEU that never panned out. There was supposed to be a solo Batman movie. Not having that was a big mistake.
As much as people hate Batman so much, I actually love Batman as a character.
No, I feel like Batman is one of, if not the most beloved superhero.
Yeah, TikTok. But yeah, anyway, but the MCU really raised the bar, especially building their own universe. Like it paved the way for a lot of
shared universes,
right? A lot of tie-in universes, man. Like the DCEU, you know.
Yeah, because if you really look at the MCU, because I feel like in its early years, as far as like 2008 to I feel like about 2012, you didn't really see a whole lot of like universes, like film universes or whatever, that were really like directly inspired or influenced as far as trying to build their own cinematic universe. But once Avengers came out, that was it. I
feel like Avengers Age of Ultron, that's when the MCU, I won't say took like a nosedive, but it took
when it started to hit its stride.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I would say 2014 you got Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy in the same year. I said Age of Ultron isn't as bad as people like to make it out to be. I feel like Age of Ultron did what it needed to do. But then after that, 2015, well, not even 2015, I say 16, you got Civil War. Doctor Strange was really good, underrated.
Oh, super underrated. And then, the first Ant-Man is underrated too.
Yeah.
I stand by that. The first one is. Yeah. Now Quantumania and
we don't talk about that.
And the other Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That was all right.
It was okay, but the first Ant-Man I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, but I'll say like
then we got Black Panther. Yeah, you right about
17. You had Ragnarok and you had Homecoming, and then right after that you had Infinity War, Black Panther, all of that.
Right. Okay. No, you right. Yeah, it was really hitting its stride. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it definitely hit its stride back then.
But it really started going downhill after Endgame though, because then you had. Well, it wasn't immediate. Yeah, it wasn't immediate because you had Wanda and Vision.
No, I'll say
WandaVision. That's what it is.
Spider-Man Far From Home came out that summer because Endgame came out in April of that year. Mm-hmm. And then it was, I believe, June or July of that year we had Far From Home. That's set right after. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we didn't really get an MCU movie like proper, like in theaters, until about 2021. Because, that was COVID and everything. So,
and they were really trying to focus on their shows and stuff anyway.
That's right.
Because they had started out with, my fault.
No, you good.
They had started off with like WandaVision at first. And then they had like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Captain America and the Winter Soldier, however you want to see it.
Yeah.
And then, both of those shows were solid.
They were solid for sure.
But then they had Loki. Those are some of the highlights. But then they started going downhill, like with She-Hulk.
I never saw it. That was around the time where I really started. That's around the time where I really kind of started to check out a little bit because it just got to a point where it was just so much content I couldn't even keep up with it.
Right, I agree. And then they had like Captain Marvel, which that movie
that was 19.
Yeah, that movie that's a GTH right there.
I
won't say that
as much as people. I would still put that movie over Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I'll tell you that right now.
I'll say this. No, I won't say Captain Marvel was a GTA. Captain Marvel was more like something to watch, just kind of there.
That was one of the very few misses in that MCU. That prime run. That was really the only real sort of misfire.
Right.
That they had.
Man. Well, they really. They didn't even
misfires. The misfires started to come really around 20.
Nah, let me find this because they didn't even come around 20. Go ahead.
No, I'll say Black because Black Widow came out in 2021. That was solid. Mm-hmm. That's underrated in my opinion.
Yep.
And then after that, it was 2022. That was around the time. And matter of fact, 2021, No Way Home. So that was fire, obviously. Yep. One of the best MCU movies in my opinion. Still holds up today. Yeah. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, that's just nostalgia, blinding you, and you really sit back and you watch the movie and all that. Man, please. Especially compared to the MCU now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, that was 2021. And you know what? Actually, I could argue that the nosedive did kind of start in 2021 because I like Shang-Chi. It was all right. I didn't mind it.
Yep.
But Eternals,
ooh,
that was the first misfire. That was actually the first MCU movie that scored rotten. And your face reflect that.
Yeah, it's like, I ain't gonna lie. I saw it the first time. I thought it was okay. Yeah. But then I saw it the second time and I fell asleep. Yeah. Like, it got worse. It went from being like a 7 out of 10 to a 6. Yeah. Like, it was really, for me, it was more of like just something to watch, just there. Like, it wasn't terrible.
It was long too.
But it was way too long. Then it was Spider-Man No Way Home.
That picked it back up a little bit. So at that point, it was kind of stabilized. For me,
rest in peace, Pat. You know, that was the first movie we were supposed to go see.
Yeah, rest in peace to him. But yeah, I would say Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That was in, I believe that was May of 2022. And tell you the truth, for me personally, I never cared a whole lot for this movie. I thought that this movie was a disappointment, especially when it came to the multiverse stuff and kind of setting it up. I feel like it didn't really execute on its concept like it could have.
Right, I agree.
Because you only go to a few different universes in that movie, and they're all almost identical. You introduce the Illuminati just so they can get killed like that. Yep. What was the point? Mm-hmm. And then after that,
my biggest issue with that movie, though, was with Wanda's motivation. Now, Elizabeth Olsen did a really good job, but it's like, why are you trying to chase down kids that ain't even technically yours?
And especially because that plot point was pretty much laid to rest with the end of WandaVision. Right. That's a whole different video.
And then we never see these jokers ever again. Yeah. Like, except for this movie. These are my kids. I'm a mother. I'm like, nah, they're imaginary.
You're kind of tripping.
This ain't Foster's home, baby. Like, but that movie. Then we had, oh gosh,
Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't even want to talk about that.
I do. So we're gonna talk about Thor: Love and Thunder for a second. Bump that movie. That's it. So then we have Wakanda Forever, which kind of picked it back. I liked it. I give that a 9 out of 10. That was high heat for me.
I feel like it was good, but I don't think it really did much for the MCU.
It didn't. I'll agree with that. It was a good overall movie.
It had no impact at all.
Thank you. Not like the first one did.
Well, and not even taking the first one out of the conversation. You remember the MCU from like its heyday, like when it was really hit. Every single movie has some kind of impact. It was like when it hit. Everybody was talking about it. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, that kind of came and went. Nobody really talked about it. It didn't have any legacy, no hype. So there was that.
I think it's really just because of Chadwick Boseman's death.
I don't even think it's just that. I just think that the movie just didn't have any real impact. It didn't really like do much anything. Right. I could be tripping, but that's what I got from
then we had some old bullshit like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania next.
Don't even talk about it. But
I'm moving on.
but in short, as we've established, the MCU has really been really rocky as of the last 5 years since Endgame came out. It's been very up and down, been very inconsistent. So Deadpool and Wolverine, I feel like is their first opportunity for a big hit and a major comeback since Endgame. Because this movie, if you look at, the hype, because granted, people already love the Deadpool franchise as it was. Deadpool, the original, was great. Right. Deadpool 2 was even better in my opinion. And I think people love those movies because of how subversive they are and how much they stand out
100%
from the usual sort of crop of MCU or at the time DCEU. They kind of make fun of the whole superhero thing, but they're also well written and well acted movies. Ryan Reynolds, was pitch perfect casting.
Right, and the thing is, as crazy as a movie Deadpool was, when I say crazy, I mean like funny and goofy as it was still more serious, and I still took it more seriously than Thor: Love and Thunder.
It knew when to be. It knew what it was, but it didn't do it to the point to where it was just too much. It knew when to reel itself back in.
Because I'm gonna tell you now, I agree. Because I'm gonna tell you now, I feel like this movie is kind of either will make or break Marvel. Because this is
one of their last chances to really redeem themselves, to really recapture that same interest that they had.
Because everybody's going into this movie with anticipation, sure, but it's also going to be okay, what you got, Marvel. Come on, bring the thunder if you got the thunder. You feel me?
Exactly.
So and I feel like that's why I feel like this movie will be. I feel like this movie will be okay. Like I feel like it'll be good. Like
I feel, to be honest with you, I need this movie to be pretty much like ball out of the park.
Oh, I need
this movie to be.
And so does the MCU.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. The MCU in general, this movie needs to be a hit.
Oh, it
needs to be no less than a hit. I think that critically it needs to hit. In terms of like potential social media, because the Deadpool movies, they pretty much are like a meme factory in terms of like cultural impact and things like that. And the fact that Deadpool is in the MCU, just the amount of opportunities, because now you got the multiverse stuff and everything.
Exactly.
Just the idea of Deadpool running around with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. So
and this is after Logan too.
Yes. So
Hugh Jackman playing this version of Wolverine, that is.
So this right here should tell you that this has to be something in order for Hugh Jackman to come back as Wolverine. When he said multiple times in that press run when Logan was coming out 7 years ago, he's like, "Yeah, I'm done after this. This is it." And for Logan to end as great as it did,
right?
And
exactly.
to really be a proper send off to really that iteration and that version of the character.
And the passing of the torch to, X-23.
Which, of course, Fox having been bought out by Marvel, we never going to get to see where that would have gone.
But the thing is, because I kind of like to compare Wolverine or Hugh Jackman coming back, kind of like Harrison Ford coming back for The Force Awakens. Because you already know, I guess Hugh Jackman didn't hate playing Wolverine, but if y'all know Harrison Ford, he played Han Solo in the original.
Han to die in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Him coming back for that, that's big. And also the reason why I say Deadpool and Wolverine is a make or break for Marvel, because look at the the 3 movies that came before it. 2 of them were absolutely atrocious.
Was it Quantumania?
Quantumania, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was fire. Hey, you feel?
It's crazy how we didn't even mention that Guardians Volume 3 was great, but I feel like it came out in a sea of just such mediocrity that it just kind of almost got swept under the rug. Like, we ain't even talking about Guardians 3. And right. I'm a huge Guardians fan.
Oh yeah, forgot about it. Shoot, I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I love all 3 of them, bro.
Oh same.
All of them are 10s in my opinion.
I feel like the first one was classic. The second one was a great follow up. And the third was a good send off.
Yeah, all of them are 10s. All of them are flawless victories to me.
Yes, sir.
But the one movie, and I saw this on my 24th birthday. It's kind of crazy. 2 out of 3 of these bad movies that came out were around my birthday. We had The Eternals. Was on. And the second movie that came around my birthday, that was when I turned. The Eternals was when I was turning 21. November 12th, by the way. Scorpio Gang, stand up. But the one that came out on November 10th of 2023, me, my cousin, and her fiance saw it. We all saw it together. The Marvels was absolutely garbage. Now that movie can go to hell. Y'all know that movie.
I can't speak on that. I didn't see it.
Good. Don't see it. Don't watch it. Do not watch that movie. I'm sorry.
That movie right there, what's crazy about that movie is that that's actually the first MCU movie that I didn't see. Like, I missed seeing in theaters in 10 years.
Oh, it's the first for a lot of things.
Because Ragnarok, I'm tripping. Thor: The Dark World, that was the last MCU movie that I had missed in theaters.
Really?
After that, I had saw every single movie in theaters as it came out. That's 10 years. So that tells you right there. By that point, I was basically checked out, to be honest with you.
Oh, man. I'm just saying. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the Marvels, that was a waste of time right there, bro.
Nah.
But that's why I say that this is a make or break because of what preceded it.
They need this to be a good look for them,
right? Because 2 out of the last 3 movies were terrible.
Yeah,
and it's and the Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania to me wasn't even as bad as the Marvels. What really saved that movie was Jonathan Major's performance, but too bad we ain't gonna see him again in it. But we could see Coleman Domingo, so shout out to him. Hopefully,
I don't know. I feel like the biggest issue right now with the MCU in general is just that it feels like it isn't as plotted out. It feels like it isn't as meticulous as far as like setting certain stuff up. Because back in the day, every movie felt like there was a purpose to it. Even the movies that weren't as major. Say, you got a Captain America. Then you got, say, a Guardians of the Galaxy, which at the time people didn't believe in because they had never heard of it.
Right.
But, they managed to turn these side characters, like these unknown, like a Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man into household names overnight.
And especially Black Panther.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Black Panther showing up in Marvel media, to me, it was kind of like it kind of equates to like a family reunion, to like that cousin that everybody likes. Hey, what's good, bro? But he'll never show up until like 4 or 5 years later. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Marvel's biggest strength used to be turning these side characters into characters that we loved in addition to the main characters. Mm-hmm. So you didn't mind when a movie was quote unquote filler because it all felt like it still served a purpose.
They even made Falcon a household name. Yeah. He even became Captain America in the comics. He
did.
And I think that's all due to the fact that the MCU gave him so much depth to his character.
Yeah. But I feel like lately they just haven't been as strong in terms of like producing those fan favorite types of characters. And so I feel like maybe you could say Deadpool and Wolverine is kind of a cheat because we're relying on a known formula that we have seen work time in and time out.
Right.
With Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, we know that that's a tried and true right there. Because I think even Deadpool at one point was like the highest grossing R-rated movie ever. Something like that. It was like around $600-700 million. Yeah. So we see that people love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. We love him as that character. And then you also, to add to that equation, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. Right. Which, there's a lot of nostalgia on that because, it's been nearly a decade, believe it or not, since Logan came out. You can believe that. 2017.
Yeah. Time flying, bro.
Yeah, it is. But overall, what do you most want to see with this movie? What do you need this movie needs to do? What do you think this movie needs to do?
It needs to not be just Wolverine and Deadpool arguing the whole time. Well, no, that's a given. Okay, I gotta think on that a little bit more. But it really needs to start off strong and take risks, because Marvel has never really been the brutal type per se. It kind of needs not a lot of brutality, not like Monkey Man level, not like Abigail level, but it does need some sort of like
edge to it.
Some edge to it. Thank you. That's exactly what this movie needs, because the edgiest film that Marvel has had is honestly Guardians 3.
In terms of the imagery, yeah, I could definitely see.
And like it needs a little more edge to it. Now, it don't have to be edge for the sake of edge, but it needs more than what Marvel has put out throughout the years. It needs to be more mature.
Not to cut you off, but yeah, especially with this being the very first R-rated movie in the MCU, I feel like there's a lot of things that they can use to their advantage with that. Kind of making fun of themselves for, being PG-13 or, being kind of sort of safe, quote unquote.
Right.
This is sort of like the edgy version of the MCU, which I think a lot of people are waiting to see how Deadpool is going to work in context of the world that the MCU has established. So that's going to be very interesting.
What do you think this movie needs?
I think it needs, to be real with you, as far as, the performances, I expect Ryan Reynolds to knock it out of the park. I expect Hugh Jackman. What I'm really, really curious to see is like what version of Wolverine we're getting, because obviously it's confirmed that this isn't the Logan from the X-Men franchise. Obviously he's dead.
Right. Yeah.
And should stay dead.
Now, do you think that this could be the Logan from from Days of Future Past, like when they prevent the Sentinels and stuff like that? Yeah. That could be the Logan that we get.
But I think in Days of Future Past, it was confirmed that the Logan that was sent back in time, the main Logan,
Mm-hmm.
That was confirmed. Like that was the same Logan at the end in the future where.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because in Logan, it's established that future is the future of the world that Logan was in at the end of Days of Future Past. You know, the world where the Sentinels and everything never happened.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Yeah. Because at the end of the movie, yeah, like I said, it's established that Logan that's there at the end, that's that same Logan.
With Charles and Xavier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with Charles and everything. And, Charles knowing that Logan, went back and prevented everything.
Oh, so the Logan laying on the table is the Logan that...
Yeah, the Logan is the Logan. Yeah.
But the Logan that is in that, so...
The Logan that's in the X Mansion at the end with Jean and Scott and all of them, and Hank, that's the Logan that went back.
Right.
Yeah. But and so he ends up being in that future and existing in that world.
Okay. Yeah. So Logan 2017 Logan is that's just what if the Sentinels won, essentially.
So no, that Logan in 2017, that's the sequel to the end of Days of Future Past.
Yeah, okay. So when Logan's getting picked up by a Stryker or something like that, right?
No, so that's that Logan. I know it's confusing. That's time travel.
It's all good. Time travel movies.
Yeah, so what it is, just to reiterate, the Logan that's at the end of Days of Future Past, that's the Logan that's in Logan. And in Logan, that's the future of the reality that he was in at the end of Days of Future Past. So the world didn't get destroyed by Sentinels, but it ended up getting destroyed by,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The whole wipeout mutants thing. Okay.
I got whole the gene and everything that they put in food and everything to kind of suppress.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down, bro.
Yeah. So because how Charles destroyed the X Mansion and everything and killed a bunch of the X-Men. And, they ended up where they were at. Yeah. That's the Charles Xavier that was there at the end of Days of Future Past with him.
Yeah. This Logan that we see, or Wolverine that we see in the new movie Deadpool and Wolverine, could be a version of Old Man Logan.
I think so, yeah, because this obviously is established as this is a different Logan.
Right.
This is a Logan that they say, and they say it in the trailer, he has failed his world. So it's established that this is a different Logan from a different reality.
That must have made one major mess up,
Yeah.
But just to wrap up the video, Deadpool and Wolverine comes out July 26th.
Yes, sir.
Of this year, 2024. Yeah, that's all you got. What else you got, bro?
I'll say closing thoughts. To reiterate, I'll say that what I expect from this movie: great performances, great action.
Definitely.
I expect it to be groundbreaking for the fact that it's the first R-rated movie in the MCU.
Exactly.
And I also really expect it to kind of course correct the MCU and kind of get it back on track.
100%.
Yeah.
But yes, sir.
In closing, I just expect a great movie. I expect a little bit of, the Deadpool formula and the MCU formula to come together to really just help steer this ship, back in the right direction.
Ship. Right.
Yeah, ship. Yes. Yes, that's what I say.
Yeah, I got you. But no, just a little joke. But yes, sir. I've been Jay.
And this has been Rodney.
We have LATD. God bless.
Yes, sir.